you're taking a blowtorch to fry an egg. This is ridiculous overkill.
Our policy towards Venezuela has swung from heavy sanctions and isolation, let's say under Trump, to a cautious engagement, and some would say directionless talks during most of Biden, and now back to a very muscular, almost theatrical show of force. This is a big departure from sort of the long-standing focus on sanctions, diplomacy, and multilateral pressure. And let's not forget, Maduro runs a criminal enterprise, right? Sustained by a transnational illicit network, and his government is basically a narco-terrorist organization. How should we be looking at this incident?
This notion of Nicolás Maduro as the titular head of something called the Cartel de los Soles, which is the soles are the little stars on a general's uniform, is a bit of a sloppy designator. We know what narcotics cartel leaders look, sound, and act like. Nicolás Maduro is not that. What he is an authoritarian leader, a dictator, a human rights abusing individual who doesn't care at all about democracy. Venezuela is not a cocaine producing country. We don't have any indication from any source that they're making fentanyl. He is, as you said, he's basically a guy who's in charge of a bunch of criminal enterprises. The reality of this deployment is, as a friend of ours, Jimmy Story, and I got to give him credit for it, the reality of the deployment is you're taking a blowtorch to fry an egg. This is ridiculous overkill. If you take a look at what the power, the naval power that amphibious readiness group, those 3 destroyers, that 1 cruiser, the P-8 aircraft all represent, that's a force that's meant to do an amphibious assault, take a beachhead, hold that beachhead until the U.S. Army comes in behind it, the Air Force comes in behind it. The White House, Carolyn Leavitt, Marco Rubio, and the State Department, they've all said this is an anti-narcotics mission. Well, if that's the case, then you just handed the surgeon who needed a scalpel, you handed him a big old hammer, and you saw what that hammer can do. It blew a boat out of the water yesterday. But as you and I have talked on other occasions, Carl, this was basically drone footage of an American Reaper, most likely, the kind we see used in the Middle East, the kind we've seen used against Houthis, against Iraqi insurgents. It's basically focused on Miami-Dade and his MAGA coalition. It's not focused really on anything that's geostrategic in terms of solving, if you will, the Venezuela problem.